the conservatory gardens used to be the local rubbish tip for a camp that lived in Roslyn Park.
The world has changed a lot since then, right? And now it's full of colour, with 50,000 tulips in Bendigo. G'day guys, I'm Michael from the Parks and Open Space team. I'm going to show you around Roslyn Park and take you through our tulip displays and talk a little bit about why we do things and how we do things around here. Our tulip display started in 2003. The town of Bendigo was going through a drought. Tulips are perfect because they like a really dry, arid climate, and they became the most cost-effective way with water management that we could still have a September spring sunshine for everyone who wanted to enjoy our gardens. Every year we aim to have our tulips bloom in the September spring holidays. They only shoot once, so we only have one go at it and we won't get another flower out of our designs. In March, our team of 4 gardeners sit down and design our displays. Each gardener is given a specific area and they're tasked with bringing as much colour as possible to each bed in a specific pattern. We order about 40 to 50,000 bulbs from a place in Dandenong, but they were actually grown in Tasmania as it is a perfect cold climate for them. When you bring your family to Bendigo, the best places to find them are in this main conservatory gardens. In this specific design, we've gone for a white tulip with an orange display straight down the middle, coming with our yellow on each side. We've found it's the best way in these big beds is to have large blocks of colour, as they give the best effect in a big area. This specific bed is called the S bed. We've gone for what we call a colour fade, so we've aimed to go from a strong red down to a red and yellow, finishing up with our nice bright yellow. In this display, we've gone for our bright pink Rosalie tulips, and then next to them, or underneath them, we have our annual pansies. We've gone for a lavender pansy, as these will really make our bright, tall pink tulips pop. This year, I tried to take a bit more of a youthful approach. I've gone away from traditions and I've come up with, well, if you like to see for yourself, it's Pac-Man. So it's got your bright yellow tulip, you've got your dark eye, and then obviously there's the foodies munching on. Another integral part of our display is picking different heighted tulips. You can get tulips anywhere from 10 centimetres all the way up to 50. By using different heighted tulips, you can get a different effect as you're looking down the line. This is crucial for photographing, as you can see both colours whilst looking at it from a certain angle. I'll hand you over to Jess. She's our horticulturalist at our nursery.
So first of all, I'd like to talk about these planter boxes that we've got in front of the conservatory building. We designed these boxes to spell Bendigo. However, funny story, a little fox decided to get in and have a rummage around after we planted. So what they say is going to be a surprise at the end when they do bloom. So behind me we've got the conservatory building, which was built in 1897. That makes it 123 years old and the only existing 19th century conservatory in Victoria. Interestingly, in the 70s, this building was almost bulldozed after it fell into disrepair. But thanks to a community group who fundraised, it's now, as we see it today, and an iconic building of Bendigo itself. In here we have a transition of displays. We had our winter forest display, which is phasing out to bring in our spring bloom display, which is full of loads of colour. These flowers we have here are called cineraria, and they're a great winter blooming plant, which actually comes from the Canary Islands. The reason we chose this flower is because it symbolises protection, and we thought that would be a great theme for the current climate. We've just brought in our azaleas, which originate from Japan. If we head in this direction, you'll see our magnificent rhododendrons. These are actually the same family as the azaleas, and the word rhododendron comes from the Greek rhodon, which means rose, and dendron, which means tree. This display will stay for around 6 weeks, and then after that, we'll be bringing in our hydrangea display for Christmas. We change the display around 7 times a year. This year our most popular display was our chrysanthemum display, which coincides with Mother's Day. If you happen to miss our chrysanthemum display, you can check it out on the Explore Bendigo Facebook page.
Our display at Civic Gardens, which is across from Pall Mall in the middle of town, is done by our other two gardeners. They've gone for a native Turkish tulip that's still original. So if you go there, you'll see something that doesn't quite have the thick stem that we have. If you go to the centre, you'll see more that they have runners and they'll go along the ground and they'll shoot a different tulip. Definitely worth a look in my opinion. We've also got at the south end of Roslyn Park a much larger area, and it's called the Queen's Gardens. By far our most iconic gardens, as we're just across from the Alexandra Fountain, smack bang in the middle of Bendigo. Our centrepiece of our Queen's Gardens is our lovely lady, Queen Victoria. This statue was founded in 1903, 2 years after her death. Around it is a 5-star hedge. We've got our white fringed parrot tulip, and here we've got our orange balloon tulip. This year was a test, this one. It's a new variety, and we're just thinking that it might just be our best. This is our Pall Mall bed. It has got white dianthus annual around the outside, coming into a white and red Armani tulip, and in the middle we've planted Lanka tulip circles. To finish off, we've got our most impactful bed. It's our teal drop bed. Right on the edge of town, everybody drives this, hundreds of cars a day, so we've come up with our brightest colours to give the most impact. Vote for your favourite display using the react buttons below. Tell us why it's your favourite in the comments. We have a tulip dig at the end of the year. This is usually around Melbourne Cup Week, so the first week of November. During this dig, you'll pay your money, you'll get given a bag, and you'll get about 20 to 25 tulips, I would imagine. You can then take these home, clean them up and grow them in your garden. Right now with COVID, we're just waiting to see how restrictions are going to play out as to if we'll be able to get the same crowds that we usually do in. So just follow our council website, explore Bendigo, the Facebook page, all of that for more updates, and we'll see if we can get a tulip dig going. So when you get yours, after you come to our tulip dig, you'll wash them, you'll snip the top off, and you'll put them in a bag in a nice cool area as they don't love the heat. My best tips for you to get a display like us is plant them at the end of June like we do. Wait until you've got your really heavy blanketed frosts. Plant them about 50 to 100 mil deep. You'll also want to place them in an area that's well drained and it has full sun, as tulips don't really like wet feet, and then you need the warmth of the soil to bring them out. That's why they'll flower in spring. Once putting in your tulips, you do not need to water them. They will, in the climate of Bendigo, we get enough rainfall that they'll be fine. I'd bring your family, I'd come along, have a picnic in the park, as we've got multiple areas and it's good for everybody to get out of the house. To join in the fun, simply share your Bendigo tulip photos on Facebook or Instagram with us by tagging #BendigoTulips and #ExploreBendigo.